Welcome again to my channel. Today, we have another business checkup. So if you are interested in hearing what other people have going on in their businesses and want to get some nuggets of inspiration for your business, stay tuned. I'm Simone Henry. I am a marketing and business automation strategist. And this is the business checkup. Today we have Kimmisha Michels. She is a certified brand strategist. And I did not ask you where you're located, Kimmisha, but feel free to introduce yourself and tell us about your business.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kimmisha Michels. I am in Tampa, Florida, and I own Enliven Creative Agency. We specialize in branding, brand development, and communication initiatives. We service business to business and government, and government agencies, sorry.
Okay, fantastic. I never knew that government agencies needed branding.
They
Uh,
do. They put out RFPs for branding, actually.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, see now, other branding strategists out there know, hey, you can bid on government contracts because the government needs branding as well. So, what are your goals for your business?
To teach people how to move differently in their business so that they're around to leave legacies. Most of the time, as business owners, we just start servicing. We don't look at our market share. We don't know how much our market is worth. We don't even know if we're servicing the right clientele. We just get in and go to work. And building a healthy brand starts with researching, knowing who, how much your market is worth, who are the key leaders, what are the gaps in services, and how you can fulfill them. Can you create a niche right off the bat?
Okay, fantastic. That dovetails a little bit into what I like to talk about when we talk about strategies. And my mentors are asking me all the time, like when I told them I was doing this YouTube channel and starting to get into it and put more stuff out there. One of them asked me, so why? Why are you doing this? What's the strategy behind it? So I had to have a strategy rather than just than just do than just doing it, tactics, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump in. Let's talk about how you attract new clients. How do you get new clients right now?
Most of it is networking, face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is referral based, but most of my business is face to face.
Okay. Are you so where are you hanging out to meet the people you're networking with?
Part of it is I go to government one-on-one whenever they put out invitations to come and meet with them and talk with them. I show up.
Okay.
Just relocated to the Tampa area, and it is a very different playground. You really need to know where you need to be, because it's not like there's neon signs that say, hey, come hang out with me. If if this is your ideal client, you need to be over here. You have to learn the landscape and know where to hang out.
Okay, so you need to be in the know who your client is and where they hang out, and and you need to be hanging out there too. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Absolutely. So once you meet somebody and they're a good fit for what you do, or maybe a good fit as a strategic partner or something, then what happens?
So if it's gonna be a strategic partnership, we just start meeting, see how we can complement each other. So they may be good in one area, but not so good in another area where it may be my strength. And so we look for projects to work together on and to see if it still is a good fit.
Okay. And what about a person that you meet who might be a good client?
It just starts with a discovery. They may have seen something that I have done and go, oh, wow, can you do that for me? And so we just sit down and we talk about their business goals. I look at them as a whole, like where they are now, where they want to be, and we just start going over strategies, ideas, innovation, and techniques. Because not only do I create strategies and do graphic design, but I'm also a printer. So I know how to take a good design and elevate it through print by using different techniques and finishes, so that they stand out. And that first piece of introduction to their ideal client is a wow, wow.
Okay. That's interesting. I have a category I'm going to put that into. So you're doing done for you graphic design work
Correct.
is
Everything I
part of what you do.
do is 100% customized, no template that says you're like everybody else.
Mhm. Okay, fantastic. So once you meet with them, then what do you do? And you have that discovery call, then what happens?
So then I start drafting designs that I think that would be a good fit. Either they accept them or we modify them until it gets to that I love it.
Okay, so this is after they become a customer. That's what you mean?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. And so you're converting them to being a customer on that discovery call. Is that right?
yes.
Okay. Do you have like a contract, or do they just are they buying like do you have a contract, or you just tell them to go to a page, or do you accept their credit card over the phone? How do you do that?
Well, there's a couple of things. So based upon the discovery, there's a scope of work that is created. Sometimes there's a proposal that goes before the statement of work. But once it goes to contract, within the contract, there is a statement of work so that they know exactly what their deliverables are. There is no, well, you said you were gonna do this. No, that's not what the contract says. Because I have had a client, she hired me for one thing, but she thought that included X, Y, and Z, and it's like, no, that's not what you hired me for. This is what you hired me for. So contracts are good because then it holds everybody liable. There are some things that are just done from a quote, like if it's printing specific things, then it's just a quote and approval and payment.
Okay. All righty. And then as far, so that contract pieces would be part of your onboarding as well, right? Once they decide to sign it, then what happens?
Then I have a system that I use, Asana, that I put the client in, and then it helps with deliverable tracking.
Mhm. Okay, so that's good. You've got a a database system where you can keep track of your clients. Do you have a database system where you keep track of your leads?
Um, my CMR, I mean, yes.
You've got a CRM?
CRM, yes.
Okay.
Um, yes, I
Okay.
am currently using HubSpot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that HubSpot is really good. All
Yeah.
right. So now that there are clients and you're delivering for them these fantastic designs and the prints are just gorgeous, then what about what do you do to keep them? Is there a way to ascend them up the ladder of value?
Well, my new strategy and part of my growth plan is to create or actually become their fractional creative officer. So
Ah,
anytime that they need designs done or a refreshment of a strategy, they're on retainer. So
okay.
we do an X amount of hours per month for
Mhm. Okay.
a new program that I am getting ready to roll out this month.
Okay. Um, and what about your how do you get them to tell other people about you?
When they like my work, they refer me.
Okay. So um so they refer you when they like your work.
Work and experience.
Okay. Um, do you know when they're referring you? Is it's up to them or do you facilitate that at all?
No, I have not in the past. Usually people are like, I'm gonna refer you to whatchamacallit, and then when that referral calls in, they will let me know, hey, such and such referred me to you. And then we just kind of go from there to see if I'm a good fit for them. Because I know that I am not a good fit for everyone.
That's true. That's true. Where none of us are a good fit for everyone, right? Um,
Yeah.
um, okay. So what I was taking notes as you're talking. So in your attraction process, you go out and you talk to people face to face and do networking. Um, my question about that is if someone isn't ready to work for you or work with you right at that moment, how do you stay in touch with them? Do you follow up?
Yes and no. Um, if I'm good, being a good girl, then I do put a tickler on my calendar to follow up with them. Um, there are times things do fall through the crack and I don't
Mhm.
follow up, but I am working on creating a better system and process for that.
Absolutely.
I do let them know that they are free to reach out to me when they're ready. I don't believe in pressuring people. So I always have that struggle with balance. When's a good time for me to follow up without making them feel that I'm pressuring them or desperate?
Mhm. Um, well, I will say this to you. Following up never needs to feel like you're pressuring them.
Yes.
I actually have in my CRM, I have a workflow that after I meet somebody, I can tag them and have a follow-up message go out to them an hour later after I've met with them or the next day.
Okay.
And when it comes to the pressure, it really only needs to be It depends on what's in the message. So your message doesn't necessarily need to be, hey, we talked about you getting my services, so let's schedule a call right now. It can be, hey, it was great meeting you. Let's talk again tomorrow or the next day, um, here's some information about me and what I do. And maybe even giving them a freebie or something as part of that automation. And and just have a series of, that's the way mine works. It's like a series of messages where, the first one is just, hey, nice meeting you. I'm messaging you so you have my contact information. Now, you gave me yours, now you have mine. And then there's one that says, hey, this is some information about me and what I do. And then another message that says, we talked about, my services or whatever, and let's schedule a call. It's not high pressure. Does it sound high pressure to you? At least it doesn't sound high pressure to me. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I just know how I feel when sometimes people approach me to get to use them. And sometimes
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, you are doing way too much. I don't need to be bombarded every day.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just trying to find a good balance that makes me feel comfortable and also make them feel comfortable that if they, say, yeah, follow up, that their email isn't full of my emails.
Oh, that's true. I think, but yeah, you're right. It is about having a good balance, and you never want to pressure someone, um, especially if it's very clear that they're not interested. But so I send it. If you send the messages through your CRM.
Mhm.
It comes with an unsubscribe at the bottom. So if they really don't want to hear from you, they can always unsubscribe, and you fall out of their inbox, and they're registering the fact that they don't want to hear from you. But I think for most people, you meet them, they sound like they could be interested in your services. And if you just reach out and say, it's really just about reaching out and keeping that connection going,
Mhm.
and building the relationship over time. If you reach out and you say, hey, we talked about such and such, let's get on a call together, and that person doesn't click the link to schedule a call with you, well, you know that they're not interested at that time, or they're distracted or whatever. But
Mhm.
you keep them on your list, and you keep sending them stuff periodically. You keep, and this is part of long-term nurture. Um, you send them valuable information, you check in with them, and basically it keeps you top of mind. And it's not pressure if you vary the messages. You let them know what you're doing. You may even like take pictures of some stuff that you've created for other people and share it with them. Take a look at what we've got going on here, um, at our branding shop and everything. And you're basically just letting them know what's possible. Then it's about keeping the relationship going and staying top of mind, because they may not be ready at that moment, but when they are ready, you want them to think of you.
Correct.
Make sense?
Yep. I try and put a tickler for at least once a month touch. Just to see how things are going, and if they need anything. But um, right now, I am putting some new systems into place so that I get better in that area. Because after going through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Cohort Program, you learn your weaknesses, and then you build your system and processes around those weaknesses so that one, it can make a difference on showing your differentials. Because a lot of times in crowded spaces, when people look at your systems, that sets you aside, not only your branding and, and reputation, but that's a good way for them to judge whether they want to go with you or somebody else. Because if somebody else has a better system and process than you, then they're going to win. And it doesn't matter how good you are. That's the one thing that will attract. And then just making sure that whatever you commit to, that you do it with excellence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of like doing things with excellence, uh, one of my recommendations is to, as you're delivering your services, if you can think of something a little extra that would wow your clients, above and beyond the great product. That would go a long way. I love the fact that you have this offer that is a retainer program for as fractional creative officer. I think that's awesome. I've never heard of a fractional creative officer. Did you make that up?
No, actually, it's a new growing trend. There are businesses who need a creative officer but can't hire one on staff. So it's easier for them to hire somebody like me because you get because you get more than just one person. You get a team to bounce ideas off of, and you get more services by hiring fractional. And it also helps businesses to have that objective opinion, because sometimes we're so passionate about our business that it's hard to be objective.
True. True. Absolutely. Yeah. And this is why I like conversations like this, because somebody else gets a view into your business and they may see things that you don't see. I actually had that experience this morning, this afternoon, talking to a strategic partner of mine who was looking at some of the things I was doing, and she came out with just gave me some suggestions that would just be mind blowing. It's not necessarily mind blowing, but they're things that I knew, but from an objective point of view, hearing somebody else say it was it put a little bit more sauce on it, I guess. You would say. It sits more in my mind. So yeah, so having conversations like this is a good thing. Speaking of, so you mentioned that your fractional creative officer, this retainer program that you have, they purchase a certain number of hours every month. I don't like the idea of the dollars for hours, though. Is there a way that you can turn that into you pay me a certain amount every month, and that is my retainer, and yeah, just have a set amount for the retainer, and if they have work for you to do that month, great. If they don't, they're still on retainer. What do you
Yeah,
think about that?
no, I think it's a great idea. Um, one of the approaches that I have to the fractional is to customize it for the client. Because everybody's gonna be a little bit different in their needs. And so I wanna be a little flexible with how it's structured, because I want them to benefit from it.
Mhm. So what do you think about having like 3 tiers? You
Yeah,
know,
I
yeah.
do have 3 tiers actually, that I have created. And so we're getting it signed off to make sure that it's appropriate, and then we're going to release it.
Fantastic. And then so the other thing is, you told me that your process for getting referrals is manual, and that they send you referrals when they think your work is great. Do you think that you've ever had a client who thought your work was great but didn't refer you?
Um, yes, I have. Um, I have had that experience, and during the Goldman Sachs program, those are one of the things that were identified on improvement.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely. Because what we want is to make sure that, I mean, you can't force anybody to do anything, but it is better to have a process that's automated, that's going to remind them or incentivize them, and so that you can have some sort of tracking in place, and you can see like how many people am I asking for referrals versus how many referrals I'm getting in. And of course, like you said, those refer people who get referred, they come to you already with some know, like, and trust, because they've been referred by somebody that they know, like, and trust. And so it's easier for you to sell them your programs. But having a system in place that's going to either incentivize them or remind them on a regular basis, or ask them for feedback and reviews, and so that that word of mouth is a consistent, ongoing thing that will drive new business in. And with new business coming in from your referrals,
yeah,
from incentivized referrals, that means you do less networking, or your networking isn't as you don't have to spend as much time on it necessarily, because the clients are coming in.
yes, and that's true. So as part of the program, we have special freebies, resources, and special thank you gifts that will be rolling out.
Awesome.
That will surprise them because they won't be expecting what we're putting together. They'll,
Awesome.
um, and there's different thank you gifts for the levels.
That's fantastic.
And so,
So you're already on your way to having a systemized business that is looking at engaging your clients and prospects at every stage of your life cycle. You've got a CRM in place. You are well on your way. I don't have a whole lot other, anything else to say really, except you go, girl.
yeah, no, I am very excited about the new things that we have created, that are going to be rolling out, and I cannot wait, uh, to say, look, this is our new product. We're also developing new software. Um, we're, yeah, we're about to what is
You're
it?
about your business.
We're
You're handling it.
we're getting ready to change the game. That's all I could say.
Fantastic.
We had a strategy meeting this morning on how we're going to roll it out and make some changes to the concept to make it even sweeter. And really focus on the customer service side or customer experience side. So
Fantastic.
it is unforgettable. I help other businesses create unforgettable experiences, but I was neglecting my own customer experience. And so really just sitting down and figuring out what that looks like for us. I don't want
Mhm.
a typical, it needs to be elevated.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, where can we find you online and see some of all this great stuff that you're doing?
LinkedIn is going to be my platform because that's where most of my ideal clients hang out. And I will be putting information out there like on Instagram, but LinkedIn is really going to be my vehicle.
Okay. I'm going to ask you for the link, and we'll put the link in the notes for today, so that you can find Kimmisha and get a gander and see what she's all about. Fantastic. Certified brand strategist, and she is certainly looking at her own business in a strategic way. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kimmisha, for being here with me today.
Well, thank you very much. A matter of fact, as part of our growth plan is we are going to be getting out and putting on workshops
Okay.
and covering the different aspects of branding and longevity, and brand health and the secrets of what the big corporations do in order to stay relevant and thriving and building resilience in unknown times.
Fantastic. It's all about future proofing your business.
Correct.
Stay relevant and for forever. All right.
Right, because as you know, people only pay attention for 3 seconds.
Right.
So you
Absolutely.
always have to be evolving in order to stay relevant to them. So you gotta, come up with new ways, I should say, new approaches.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for doing this. Um, if you are interested in what Kimmisha is doing and you would like some help for your brand to stay relevant for the future, visit the link in the description. We'll have all of that information there. And be sure to come back next time. We'll have another guest. And subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share it with others. And comment, say hi to Kimmisha and let her know, show her some love. Let her know that what she's saying makes some sense. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me to be a guest on your show today.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'll talk to you next time. Thank you for watching my video. If this content has helped you in any way, help me to share this with others by subscribing to this channel. And please click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Also, like the video and don't forget to comment below your biggest takeaway so that we can share it with others. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.